This is Kristina Vega, and you are watching RichardMetalFan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Episode 205 of Richard Metal Fan Interviews, calling from Zoom, and I'm here with Kristina Vega from Cobra, Born in Exile, Uneven Frame, and Serapis, and probably a plethora of other bands I'm not even aware of. So, how are you doing today?
Good, and you? Thank
Not
you for
too.
having me today.
Anytime, anytime. It's a lovely afternoon here in good old Kennesaw, Georgia, where I'm at in the U.S. How is it over in Spain?
Now it's 8 at night and a little bit hot outside, cold in the houses because the time is changing, but really, really nice weather here in Spain.
It's great to hear. So, kind of like the format is, I want to talk about like your musical history and sort of like do a rundown of your discography and talk about like the new Cobra spell, but take you back to young Chris Vega. So, kind of growing up, what were the first bands that got you into metal and what made you want to be a vocalist?
Wow. This is a difficult question because when I sing since I was a kid, and I remember my father showing me Queen music, Freddie Mercury. He's a big fan, and I remember that days when I was singing all the time when I was a kid. But when I started to hear or to know that metal exists, uh, I had like 12 years old, more or less, 10, 11, 12. And I started to discover Linkin Park,
That, w-
Slipknot,
yeah, like all
Rammstein.
childhood bands for me. Like
Yes,
first two
yes.
Linkin Park albums slap.
Oh, yeah. And I remember going to a record shop that we had near my parents' house. And my father said, "Today I will buy the CD, any CD you want, like, but just you have to pick just one." And I saw Live in Texas from Linkin Park. And I
That's a
was like,
great album.
wow, man. It was amazing. The vibe. I was too little to attend to a concert, and for me was the first experience, uh, concert wise, like watching the DVD. Like wow, all the crowds. Wow, for
Yeah.
me was amazing. And then yeah, Slipknot, Evanescence.
Yeah.
And then in some point I realized that when I had access to internet, I realized that there was a lot of nice bands out there, and bands from the past, like not just what was happening at that time, bands from the 80s, bands from the 90s, music from the 70s, like wow, man. I'm having access to all of that. And yeah, the singers that encouraged me to sing, or the voices that for me were an inspiration. I can say, yeah, Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, Ronnie James Dio, of course. I love my father, but for me, Ronnie James Dio is my metal father.
Same here.
And and Corey Taylor. I remember when I was like 14 or 15. I remember going to a rehearsal place and sing and scream till I was voiceless, and I was going at home like, wow, my mom is going to argue with me because I don't have voice because I've been singing all the evening. But yeah.
Wow. So I guess the first thing I want to talk about, I guess your first band was Born in Exile, because I know they formed 2012, and it says according to Metal Archives you joined in 2015. So how did you get to know the guys?
since I started to feel passion about music, and then I discovered metal, and I decided to be part of that. Like, wow, I want to sing. I want to sing like my role models, you know. Like, wow, I wanted to be like Corey Taylor. Yeah, yeah, I can do that. And all that stuff. And even if I was I was thinking, like, even if I am a woman, I can do that. Can I do that? And I was like, let's try. And when I started to feel passionate about metal, I started to play bass too.
Oh, wow.
I played bass in a band. We were doing visual kei, like this Japanese heavy metal, Japanese metal, Japanese experimental metal, something like that. But all the lyrics were in Japanese. We were crazy. We were kids, like 16, 17 years old. And then I was I started to be part of being part of many bands in my country, or in my city, in Barcelona. And then I remember that one day I woke up in the morning, and I was I don't know, 22 years old. I woke up and I said, okay, I have to find the band. And it took me a lot of time to find a band who was formed by people who were like-minded, like me, you know, like, okay, I want to do something with music.
On the same
And
page.
yeah, on the same page. And I found on a website, I remember to write a announcement, like, hey, a singer, I'm a singer, I live in Barcelona, blah blah blah, I'm looking for a band. And the guys call me, like, hey, Kristina, do you want to come to make a rehearsal with us? And yes, why not? And then I started there. I've been in many bands in the middle. I collaborated in many bands. For example, when you say Uneven Frame, the deal with them was just 4 songs. And wow, they were absolutely amazing, like this modern metalcore stuff. I love the band really, really much, and they are really nice musicians. But the bands that I've been into till today are Born in Exile, this side project that we have, Joaco, the guitar player of Born in Exile, and me. We created something else, which is called Serapis Project, and then Cobra Spell. These are my 3 bands, which I am taking care as my 3 kids.
Awesome. But tell me about like that first Born of Exile album, Drizzle of Cosmos. It's pretty raw sounding thing, and I think it's a good debut album. So what was the thought process going into making that album?
Ooh, as you can see, wow, the Drizzle of Cosmos was our first album, my first album as a vocalist. And man, in that time I was not able to write proper lyrics in English, you know, like it was really difficult. And since I am working lately, like since I am in Cobra Spell, I am studying English. I'm trying to express myself every time better. I have taking lessons. but I'm still getting there, because sometimes I'm not fluent enough, or something about the pronunciation, or something about how I express myself.
You
And
sound good.
thank you. But sometimes it's like really, really difficult, like, wow, how can I do that? Oh, it makes me I don't know, stress a little bit. And at that time, when we were recording the Dress of Cosmos, we were like, oh man, let's do that, let's release this. Maybe even the lyrics are not good enough, or even the grammar is not good enough. This is what we have now. And for the first record, local band, it was okay. And
Yeah.
then we did the Transcendence.
Yeah.
Then you can see that I think we improved a
Yeah.
lot in that album, because the first one was a way
Sort of like a
to
learning thing.
yes, a learning thing. And we all put there all the songs that we were playing. Like, we had amount of songs, and that songs are going to be in the record. Okay, let's go for it. Like, with the time, we learned to choose, like, okay, this song maybe is not good enough, or maybe we have to cut this part because it's too long, or we have to modify this, to modify that. And we grew all together to that point. Then from the Transcendence to now the Major Arcana. The Major Arcana, you can see the lyrics are correct, are good. Like, there's a lot of meaning behind the lyrics. We tried to correct the lyrics with a native speaker, and we were improving. Then I'm so proud about this evolution. Like, okay, we all start from something, and as a band from Spain, yeah, I think we did a really cool job.
Yeah, I still think like that Major Arcana, especially I love the last song, Arcane 8. It's
Yay.
like 21 minutes long. It's a pretty bold move to like end the album with like a song that long.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
so yeah,
yes.
yeah, I'd still think that's like a really good song. Pretty much like I would consider it kind of like y'all's like Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Yay.
But then kind of like going into that of course last year you ended up joining Cobra Spell. So how'd you get to know like Sonia and everybody?
Internet. Wow, having the opportunity to meet people through internet is something that I'm really, really grateful. Um, Instagram was the main way for us to meet. Like, hey, Sonia is looking for a singer. No, some friends told me, like, hey, Sonia Nubis is looking for a singer, and I was like, who the fuck is Sonia Nubis?
Yeah.
And I went to Instagram, and I realized that I was following her already, because okay, that girl, this blonde girl who plays guitar. I was like, wow, man. Okay, then I should write her, because maybe she's into something interesting. And I called my friend Joaco, and which is the guitar player of Serapis project and Born in Exile. We have a really, really cool friendship. And I called him like, wow, man, what should I do? And he said, go for it. Yeah? Are you sure? Yes, go for it. Now. And I went home running like as far as I could to close myself into my room and rehearse the song that Sonia told me to cover. She said, "Okay, Kristina, if you can, would be nice if you can sing Poison Bite and send it to me. Like record yourself and send it to me. And I remember that I learned the song in 1 hour and I sent it to
Wow.
Sonia.
Wow.
And Sonia, yeah.
What you're saying?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
It's
Go
all
ahead.
good. But I still think were you kind of like nervous because joining the band? Because anytime when bands like change singers, there's always the worrying of like, will it work or won't it work? Because I remember, like, for example, with I've said this a bunch with like Iron Maiden, like when Paul Di'Anno left the band, then people were wondering how they would sound like with a different singer. But then they got Bruce Dickinson put out Number of the Beast, which is still one of the best metal albums of all time. So were you kind of like nervous, and were you also listening to like the 2 EPs, Love Venom and Anthems of the Night in preparation to join?
Yeah, for me was a challenge because a female voice has another range, okay, and then Alex Panza was the first singer, and he's a really talented singer. He has a male voice. Then where he is comfortable, I will not. I mean, in low notes, for me, are his middle notes. Then I was like trying to find a way to sing the songs without being like buried by the bass, because if the female voice goes really low, we don't have this feeling of projection. We don't have volume. Then if I sing here, hey ho, my voice get buried. Like, okay, man, I have to do something. And I managed to learn the songs super fast and to give them my style. Then when we rehearsed together for the first time, so I remember Sonia saying like, "Wow, your voice, it fits really good on Cobra Spell. It's like this hard rock voice that I always imagined. Like, wow." And I was there like, wow, thank you. And replacing someone is something difficult, but if you have to give your 200%, like if you work on that, and if you know that you have the tools to make it possible, maybe you can do it. For example, imagine that
Absolutely.
When Arch Enemy changed the guitar player, and this blood guy.
It's the new guy, Jeff Loomis, formerly
Jeff Loomis. Jeff Loomis.
Nevermore.
Okay.
He's great.
Jeff Loomis is awesome. And okay, that guy can play guitar. Yeah. He's an amazing guitarist. And wow, did you notice that they changed guitarists?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Maybe I try to keep up with all the news and shit.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, he plays, he's super talented, and on live shows, wow, the energy is super big, the guy is good looking, wow, he's nice. But I remember with the past albums, I was enjoying the same. Then what I mean is that sometimes if you are a good musician and you are in the same page with the band or with the music, then the evolution can be better, or at least be like the same.
Absolutely. And so tell me about making like the first song, Flaming Heart, which is your sort of like debut single with the band. And what was that like writing process like? Because I think that was like the first time I've heard of Cobra Spell, honestly, and then I checked out all the other stuff. But hearing your voice on there, it just sounds like something from like a cheesy like 80s movie, and I just love it.
Yay. With Flaming Heart, we were we were being asked about, oh, we want new music, we want the new vocalist appear on Spotify, we want new music, we want new songs with Kristina's vocals. And we thought that was the moment to release something. Like, okay, we've been silent for too long, because when I became the singer of the band, there was a lot of music recorded by Alex, by the previous singer, and we have online videos live that have 1 million views. Like, people wanted songs with my voice, with the new formation. Then there's a video from a concert in Sweden, I think, that you can find. I don't remember the name. It's
it's Muscle Rock.
Muscle Rock.
Yeah, I just had to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see there's like a couple live videos. I see one that has like 17,000 views, 28,000.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, man? What's happening? The people want that. Then
you famous dog.
We tried to give just a song, because we knew that the album would be different, and something we wanted to record something in the middle of Anthems of the Night and the following image. Then we came out with the Flaming Heart song, which is like something really positive. It's a positive message, it's like everything is like cotton candy, and as you said, no, cheesy, and like 80s power ballad, I don't know, something like that. And then we come with the 666 different image, with spikes, with metal everywhere, with the leather, and now we are the bad girls, not the Flaming Heart girls, lovely girls anymore.
It almost kind of feels like a complete 180, and I'm surprised like Flaming Heart isn't even on 666.
Yeah, and that's why, because it was like super different. And since we signed with Napalm Records,
how'd they find y'all?
Oh, they contacted us like, hey, we want you here. And I remember when we read the email, I was like, no. Super happy. But after a long period of looking for advice, the conditions, or the contract, like, you have to read everything, you have to think what is best for the band, you have to decide, because it's something really important, like, wow, okay, we are going to work with a major label, which it means that we have to be really committed. And that's why we experienced a few lineup changes then too. Then it is what it is. Sometimes if you have a music project, you have a band, and you have to decide sometimes, if you work all the week, 10 hours per day, all the time, then you cannot, for example, I would not be able to give interviews, to have these interviews with you, for example, because I would not have time for that. Then rehearse, the time the time a band needs is really important, because it's not just making music, it's all that left behind, like emails, communication with the label, communication with fans,
Yeah. Also
communication
pretty much a
with the
business.
bookers. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. But tell me about like the thought process going into making 666. What was like the thought process being like it's now the debut full-length album, you're signed to a label and everything. So how was the recording process for the debut full-length album?
Oh, the recording process was super fun. I enjoy it a lot. I recorded everything in 5 days.
Wow.
Sonia was living on the studio. She was there for 1 month and a half. And I remember that moment as the most difficult moment of my life, like vocal wise. Like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm recording something big and there's a lot of pressure on top of my shoulders. Like, I have to do this really well. And man, we recorded like almost 10 hours per day that week. I was
Wow.
singing all that time, like from 9 morning to 6 to 7 to 8 sometimes. Like, wow,
Man.
it
Man, that's
went.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I learned a lot. I had the opportunity to learn a lot from that time. And the composition was really easy because Sonia is the main composer of Cobra Spell. Then she was calling like, "Hey girls, I have this. I came out with this song. What do you think about it? Do you have any ideas? Do you have ideas for lyrics and blah blah blah?" And we were working together with Noeli too on the lyrics, and it became super nice. And that's how we put a lot of stories in every song. For example, there's the song Warrior from Hell, which talks about the Sonia's guitar because she plays warrior. This You're a Cheater, who talks about one of my exes, for example. What else? High on Love, for example, or Love Crime. We spent really nice writing the lyrics, and of course to giving the final touches to the music.
Yeah. And being as a vocalist, when it comes to like the making of the lyrics, do you have to like put yourself in like a certain mind frame in order to come up with lyrics, or just the lyrics just come naturally and organically?
For this album, Sonia was the main composer of everything, even the lyrics. I helped her in a few songs, but she had a really clear idea of what she wanted. And since Cobra Spell is her baby, for me it was like, yeah, go for it. You have everything in mind. I will help you in everything. We can give form to the vocal lines. But for me, it was totally okay to sing Sonia's lyrics. And in general, when I write, I like to imagine the story in my head, like I'm listening to the music and that music gives me to a place, and I start to imagine every scene of the movie that I have in my head. And sometimes if I want to talk about some experiences or our own things that own experiences, sometimes I write something, a text or a song, and then I adjust with the instruments and all the stuff. That's for example how You're a Cheater came out.
Cool.
I
And
I had the idea and we went for it.
awesome. I got a couple more questions for you if
Mm.
that's cool. Cool. And of course, like the band pretty much has like members from like different parts of countries, like you and Hallie being from Spain, Roxy being from Venezuela, Noel being from Brazil, now living in Germany, and of course Sonia being from the Netherlands. So how is the dynamic within the band being as you all are from like different countries?
We call every week. We have weekly calls, and every one of us has different tasks in the band that we can do by ourselves, and we practice a lot at home, and we share a lot of what we do. Like, okay, girls, now this week would be nice if we do this or we do that, and we plan social media, for example. Even if we have to write music, we make calls for that. As I said before, internet is amazing. The opportunity to have all this technology at our service is something really nice. It allows you to make things incredible.
Right. And the final question I want to ask you is talking about playing live. Is there like a different like similarities or differences between like playing live as to recording, or how are they are they like pretty much similar, or are they completely like different animals?
Um, I like to say that the live is super powerful. Like, okay, you can listen to the album and maybe you would like it, but if you like the album, when you go to the concert, you will like, wow, you will drop your jaw like, okay. We try to give a really powerful show, like with a lot of energy. We are jumping all around, running, interacting in between us. There's a lot of energy there, and absolutely, if you have the opportunity to come to one of our shows, I would recommend, because you will like it for sure.
Awesome. So thank you, Kristina, for this chat. It was great to be able to talk with you today. And of course we
Thank
have the
you.
new album 666 coming out December 1st through Napalm Records. Just anything else with the release of the album that you would like to promote in terms of like touring and stuff? And is there a chance you can please bring Cobra Spell to the States for a tour? We'd love to have you.
We are planning the next year, and we are so happy to say that we cannot say anything.
Yeah, you'll
but
tell me
we
when
are
I turn off
planning
the recorder.
but we are planning a lot. Yes, we are
Yeah.
planning a lot.
Oh yeah. I am really looking forward to it. So thank you again for this chat. Is there any final
Thank you
words
so
you want to
much.
is just any final words you want to say to the viewers that are watching to close this out?
Thank you for your time, and if you like Cobra Spell, you can follow us. We are everywhere, so let's go for it.
Awesome. So everybody, Kristina Vega from Cobra Spell. We'll see you next time.